Hello, everyone. My name is Lamont Gwynn, and welcome to our first broadcast of our new show, Conquering Through the Crisis, because I believe, why cope when you can conquer? I am so excited about my first guest. She's been a friend and just a powerhouse. Just a lot of information is going to come from her today. Her name is Shaylce Jackson. She's the program manager at Genentech. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Shaylce. How are you today?
I am blessed and highly favored, Lamont. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you so much for um, taking me up on my offer to do this because to be the first one out and to take time out of your schedule because you're busy and you've got a lot going on, and I really appreciate you taking time out. Now, I asked you to send me your bio, and when I read it, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to read this because I'm not going to embarrass her.
Thank
But what I'd like for you to do, Shaylce, is just let folks know um, a little bit about yourself.
Wow. Okay. Just a little bit. Well, I am in the, what throws me is like, where am I today? What am I today? Today, I am a COVID conqueror.
Okay.
And I am speaking to you from my beloved downtown Orlando, Florida. And I relocated, ironically, to Orlando, Florida 15 years ago today.
Oh, wow.
And so today is very, I had a lot going on in my mind, and is honestly making me reflect on from where I was 15 years ago to where I am today. So how appropriate for me to have this conversation with you.
Well,
I'm
congratulations.
originally, thank you. I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio, and I chose to come to Florida. I've always been career oriented, and undergrad I received Wright State University in business accounting, and my graduate degree down the street from Antioch, master's in business administration. And the healthcare industry found me, specifically pharmaceuticals. And in 2000, I started with Novartis Pharmaceutical, and I did that for about a year in Dayton, Ohio. And I shunned it at first. I said, I'm a business major, I'm a county major. You know, I took rocked geology versus biology. But I met several people who just told me I had a knack for this line of work. And I'm so forever grateful because now 20, 25 years later, I have been in the healthcare industry and had many a roller coasters. And I'm going to add to that roller coaster the whole COVID. So I started in Ohio, got promotions. I chose to come to Florida 15 years ago and started in the sales rep roles, and went from sales rep roles within Florida to different Fortune 500 healthcare organizations. And I have found myself now here at Genentech, having gone through medical device sales, through management, to really my best role yet with Genentech. So I have a lot of stories. I'm a storyteller. I have a lot of ups and downs, roller coasters. So it depends on how much you want to know, how much you want to talk. But I can pivot anywhere you like. But I'm happy to say right here, right now, at this very moment, I am pivoting and staying professional and relevant within my organization and in life as we know it today.
Awesome. Awesome. What I forgot to do at the beginning of the show is talk about the theme of the show. The theme of the show is remaining valuable while pivoting professionally.
Mhm.
And I want to dive into that a little bit, but I want to go back. Did you say you're a COVID survivor?
COVID survivor, as in I'm following the rules, staying quarantined,
Okay.
isolating myself, praying for my friends and family and those strangers who are stricken with COVID.
Okay.
So I know that you and I have a conversation that could lead to, but no, I have not. I've been fortunate thus far. I have not been struck with the virus at any level.
Right. So I had the virus when I came back from New York. And
Right.
it's so funny because yesterday I had almost like an epiphany. I, it's so crazy how it happened. I woke up yesterday morning. I said, "Oh my goodness, I know how I got the virus from the man coughing from who was across the aisle from me, and
On the
he
plane.
on the train ride coming back from Florida. I mean, from New York. And the thing about it is, they put everybody in Orlando in one car. So he was coughing in that car, and it's like, how many other people could he have gotten? And at one point, I looked over at him like, dude, you've been coughing a lot. And he looked over at me like, oh my goodness, I'm coughing. And yep. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So
I didn't know that detail. I just assumed
yeah.
it was the plane, which was a lot of my business, but the train, yeah, makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
Wow.
So let's talk about what you do at Genentech, because I know back in January I went to the NSN, and we'll talk about NSN. I went to the NSN meeting, and you had a great panel talking about Genentech and how you got there.
Yes,
And in your role at Genentech, you travel.
yes.
You know, that's a part of your job responsibility, if you know, to say the least. So tell us, how did that, when you had to go into isolation, how did you pivot professionally? What adjustments did you have to make in order to remain valuable to Genentech?
Okay, thank you. Well, it stands out in my mind just like it was yesterday. My birthday, March 1st. I had decided to have a stay away vacation or enjoy myself to a resort. And I drove 2 days before. So that would have been the 27th, 28th, February 28th. I drove from Orlando to someplace I had not been in all of my travels, amazingly, which was Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed through the weekend and had a phenomenal resort trip. And I shared with my mom, my sister. I said, I finally know how to do my birthday. And on the drive home, March 1st, back to Orlando, I had appointments set for the rest of the week. And I needed to be in Atlanta by Wednesday. And the rumblings has started
Mm-hmm.
with COVID. And just kind of how the initial was like, this is coming. This is a pandemic. This is not looking good. So I proceed with work, and I was supposed to fly to Atlanta, but I started getting emails from work. Hey, if you're not comfortable with flying, feel free to cancel or find some other means. Well, I've been blessed. I have a company car, so no problem. I just changed transportation methods. So I drove to Atlanta and drove to my hotel, and I had an appointment with a physician's office, which is what I normally do as program manager. I work within the ophthalmology franchise,
Mm-hmm.
and I work with the CFOs, CEOs, practice managers for their offices, and I work with our rebate and discount programs for the physicians and patients. So it's a buy and bill process, and it just allows me to interact with the C-suite of the offices in helping patient access to our medicine, to help them through the financial means of the office. So it's one of my dream jobs. I'm loving it. And the rumblings didn't scare me. I was in my focus. I have to get to my account, which is Atlanta. Get to Atlanta, check into my hotel. Not a lot of people. I started seeing the weather was bad as well. So I'm like, okay. So as I'm listening to the news on my drive up in NBC and CNN all day long, this thing started changing. They had I actually stayed in Atlanta, Buckhead, next to the Lenox Mall, purposely because that's what I do. And I got there a day early, get prepared, went to dinner. Not a lot of folks. People were already kind of staying, two distance stools apart and what have you. Went through the mall, walked through the mall to walk off my big burger I had for dinner. And just interesting. You started. I can't quite describe it, but you started feeling a change.
Mm.
Had my appointment, and then I drove out the next morning back to Orlando, and that was March 5th. And that's when it happened. The next day, Genentech got us all on conference calls, emails were coming out. Cease,
Mm.
stop traveling, stop doing what you're doing, no customer interaction. And that March 5th was the beginning of my new remote new norm.
Wow. Wow. So now that you are doing things remotely, I mean, besides the not having the face-to-face connection,
Mhm.
how has that changed your business?
Oh, drastically. I prided myself, I'm a people person. So, being in the industry 20 some years, either I was managing a plasma facility where I had direct reports. I'm in the facility with our customers, with my management team, to the donors coming in the building, to where I'm in a car going to the doctor's offices. I'm at this level, I meet my colleagues. They sponsor lunch. We do lunch and learns. We meet in the parking lot. We go to a restaurant and debrief. Constant 100% interaction. Now it's just literally the computer and this space. I literally turned my second bedroom into my office. Genentech has been just fantastic. I had all the equipment that I needed. And I started emailing my customers, checking in on them. Hi, it's Shaylce. Just want to check in with you during these unparalleled times. How can I help you? So our company engaged with us immediately for us to engage with our customers to see how they're doing. And it was a fine line, not to sell anything, because this is now morbid
Mm.
and mortality based.
Mm.
And it truly was my only conversations. How are you doing? What are you doing? Are you servicing your customers? And how can I help you?
Wow.
And for me, it was just more hearing back from the offices, that those who did respond, because this is new for them. They're not used to sitting at their desk
Mhm.
at emails from me. They'll get an email and they'll respond late that night, after hours, or first thing in the morning, because they're seeing their patients. So didn't get a lot of communication. It gets your mind wondering, like, wow, what's that office doing? Top office. And my particular product, patients need this medicine every 2 to 4 weeks, once a month,
Mm.
to help prevent blindness.
Wow.
So that's just a whole nother element, how the office is going to now be treating these patients under these circumstances. So it started off slow. So with my customers, they eventually started emailing back. Shaylce, thanks for asking. This is what we're doing. We're operating on emergency base only. Does this impact our rebate program? Because there's a financial caveat to this program. And, so happy to tell them, no, everything is status quo. On this date, we'll be sending this out. On this date, we'll be communicating that. So it's just more about just letting them know we're operating the same for you. Just want to check to see how's the best way to operate with you as you're going under these different changes. So that was from the customer perspective. Internally, Genentech is, we started immediately having virtual meetings,
Mhm.
emails. Every day we got a debriefing on COVID, where we are now. Because we're spread out domestically, United States wise, we have international presence as
Mm.
well. So just depending on just how this is, depending on where you live, what state you're in, what city you're in, you have to follow those ordinances. And Genentech, being an essential healthcare organization, I'm so happy and proud of them. They are a part of trying to work out treatment for COVID-19.
Wow. Okay.
So our domestic office is in San Francisco. It is shut down completely. Only essential, which is basically the scientists.
Wow.
Our president CEO, virtually meets us through his living room.
Wow.
And then, the whole stay at home and how families are staying at home. I am single, and that's another caveat. I don't have the interactions or the distractions or the reprioritizing or whatnot. So it's about me. So finally, I can take this. Hey, it's all about me. What do I need to survive through this?
So, um, what when you look at all of what's happened with your role in pivoting,
Mhm.
what do you feel are your strengths to help you get through this time? Because one thing that I know about you, Charlize, is that you're an outdoors woman, right? So, you
A
like
little
to be out.
active,
Yeah, you're very active. You like to be on the move. One of the things that I love about when it says that on your bio, um, adventures and travel, the
right?
sport of running, fitness training, golf. So you're very active.
Yeah.
So with that, how have you been able to personally deal with, being in these now four walls?
Yes, that was a task. And it just happened organically. And the first thing, I had just received my bonus check before everything started shutting down and
Oh,
whatnot. And I got a commercial, I saw a commercial and an email at the same time for my physical fitness. It's called the
oh yeah.
mirror.co.
Okay.
So basically, it's a personal trainer in the mirror. I ordered it that
Okay.
night and got a discount. And I'm like, this is my gift to myself. And it took about 2 weeks. So as I waited on that, I have my fitness friends. And during this time, I've been able to interact with two friends who are single, doing the same thing I'm doing, remote, trying to figure this all out. So what makes me comfortable is routines. So my normal routine is I'm a morning person, 6, 7, doing my meditation, my yoga, something, get out to the airport. Well, can't do that. Get into my office, in my office by 8:30, 9, and going at it. By 4:30, 5 o'clock, I need fresh air. And during this whole thing, especially here in Florida, one thing we've been able to do is go outside,
Right.
practice social distancing. So 6 days a week, I'm doing something active. So I started off walking, then running. So I'm up to my 5K level,
Wow.
3.1. Then on April 1st, I went and bought a bike. I had a bike. It's old, rusty, and heavy. Went to a neighborhood, supporting my neighborhood. Kyle's bike shop. Hope Kyle gets to hear this. Went, purchased a bike. Got an instant, built a rapport with them, and they were already practicing. 5 people in. I had my mask. I went right in, picked me out a new fitness bike, got on it, rode it home. So now by 5 o'clock, either I'm going out riding my bike or I'm walking or running. And in the morning or evening, I can go in my room and do a yoga class, a Pilates class, a kickboxing, boxing, stretching. It just instantly filled my fitness guru space quickly. So routine one, very easy. And then routine two is staying valuable with my company, coming in my office, being in my office by 8:30 during the norm. And I always have something to do. Well, mid-March, what I did, and I didn't know I was doing this, I created value for myself. Genentech has a wonderful partnership with Cornell University. I enrolled in a business strategy certification class that
Mm.
is called Change Management. And I have my MBA. I have my doctorates of life. I don't have to get my PhD.
Right.
Life is teaching me all of that. But certifications has been the trend the last several years. You know, what do professionals who love education, who want to stay relevant and valuable, this is key, business certifications. So I signed up for class, and that is what I say truly saved my sanity, my professional sanity. Having that class, having to do homework, and Cornell has it all lined out perfectly. So when all the schools in America went to online learning, my nieces had to leave college soon this year. I have a freshman niece. Her school year ended right after spring break. Don't even come back. And you know, we're going online. So I believe and know it caught a lot of schools, from our local elementary schools to our college allegiate schools, caught them off guard. Cornell had this program in place, and if everybody hears this, simply follow the Cornell template. It's been awesome. So I was started instantly. Here I am now, still meeting, me being a people person, meeting teachers across, you know, upstate New York, online, doing virtual interactions, submitting assignments, and it's been phenomenal. I have nothing but great things to say, and it aligned with what was going on with Genentech, where we are under a major organizational restructure, and change of mindset is what's happening at Genentech, from a structural standpoint to being remote, and to take courses to remind you of the little things. That has saved, that's literally has made me more valuable. And you know, I've let my manager know. I've had conversations with the CEO, with directors, because I had nothing else to do but email folks and ask questions, and just kind of let you know, just makes you be more inclusive. And during this time, that truly, that routine of staying value through work, exercising, that's my coping mechanisms. That's how I have survived.
Awesome. So one of the things that I hope to gain from this show is for folks to be able to see the running themes from
Mm,
person to person.
okay.
And one of the things that I've learned is that a health routine is so important.
Yeah.
So going out, walking, doing something for your health is really important. And I have a bike too, and we're not far from each other. So
So me too. Let you
I'll
go.
see if I can keep up with you. But that's so important. And then what I heard as far as your work was concerned is, as a professional, you look within your organization to see where you can add some value. And
Right.
through that, you have been able to make new connections. You've been able to show your managers, show even the president, the owner of the organization, that you are valuable, even though you can't travel the way you are. And those are the nuggets that I want my audience to take away from this. I want you to take away from this, because those are the ways that you can remain. First, how you cope with being in, if you're locked in, you can't get out, how do you
Mm,
cope with that? But also in your organization, how to remain valuable. I want to
right.
switch over to NSN,
Yeah.
because you are also the current president of NSN. So why don't you break down NSN a little bit for us and tell us about that?
Sure. Innocent is my heart. I am one of the founding members of the Orlando chapter. It was established in 2009, but Innocent, the headquarters, the umbrella, has been around over 20 years. National Sales Network is a 501c3, not for profit membership organization whose objective is to meet the professional and develop the needs of sales and sales management professionals, and all individuals who choose to improve their professional sales skills. I always say, no matter what position you are in or own, sales skills are required for everyone. So National Sales Network has literally, it saved my professional life.
Hmm.
by being a part of it, one of my stories that will be coming out in the book uh,
Okay.
before the end of this COVID. My book is entitled Transformation of a Faithful Leader. And
Mm.
I, my first crisis, this is crisis 2020. My first crisis for me was 2011 when the bubble burst, depression, the jobs. I lost my job. I
Mm.
lost very good healthcare job. And I was thrown out there in the midst of all the competition, all the other talent. And it took me literally a decade to get through that journey to be where I am today. So NSN was an instrumental part of that. They kept me relevant and kept providing value to me. And I'm just at a point now where I'm trying to give back. Uh, NSN connected me and provided me the network to talk to healthcare organizations, financial organizations, all organizations who were looking for sales talent. I interviewed for all big Fortune 500 companies, Johnson and Johnson, Medtronic, Boehringer and Ingelheim. I went back to Abbott, interviewed there. It was phenomenal, but they kept me fresh. They kept me engaged, helped me with interviewing skills and the friendships, the camaraderie that you gain in an organization, because there's no other organization quite like this, a sales organization, and focuses for minorities and helping them maneuver and transition through corporate America. So as in, I'm with Genentech, and this is it. I'm here to stay. But the skill sets that I learned by being active with the National Sales Network made it easy for me to communicate with directors and HR and whoever I need to at any time. Those skill sets that I learned and practiced through National Sales Network is what kept me relevant in 2011 and then has enhanced my relevance in 2020. So I cannot say enough about the organization. It's all I can say is just join, and that's where you and I met.
Mm-hmm.
And it festers professional hobbies, professional entrepreneurial skills, corporate skills. You and I have the passion of photography. You have just taken your photography business to a whole nother level. So it gives me an opportunity to partner with you after all this is done. So when we get on our bikes, actually, we're gonna be taking some pictures
Okay.
of downtown Orlando. But it gives you those networks. It builds a network for you,
Right.
those connections for you. So I, like you said, I have brought some peers from Genentech in February to discuss kind of their path. And one of the young ladies I brought to the panel was a president of NSN 15 years ago, or at least for 15 years in the
Mm.
Philadelphia area.
Wow.
Um, and
Yeah.
that network helped me find a Genentech coach, consulting coach, Lynette Vine, and we reconnected through NSN. But we're now under Genentech's umbrella, but have the foundation of National Sales Network. So I can't say enough for that. That is my community service, my community give back, just keeping people connected, helping them help each other, help yourself. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
if anybody's interested in learning about NSN, the National Sales Network, where do they go?
Salesnetwork.org,
Okay.
salesnetwork.org, or you can reach out to me, Shaylce Jackson, at Gmail. I do my Gmail. I have so many emails.
All right. So what we'll
Please
do is
contact me.
we'll put your contact information in
Perfect.
wherever we post these videos so that folks can reach out to you. And I really want to thank you for your time. This was an excellent conversation. Thank you so much. I want to end this with a
Mhm.
health check-in. May
Okay.
is Mental Health Month, and so I want to ask you 5 questions.
Okay.
And the first one is, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling 9 today. I'm feeling like a 9. I
Okay.
feel healthy, strong. There's no ailments, no aches, no sores. I'm feeling productive right now. I can't wait for 5 o'clock. Today is bike ride
Okay.
day.
Now, what's not working?
What's not working? I would say just working through the pessimistic
Mm,
viewpoints. I have to stay connected to the news and knowing what's going on, but what's not working is the negativity that comes from that.
mm,
Um, I'm just going to say it on this platform. My friends, my core know the President Cheeto Head, the leadership that we are currently under, does not help. So we have to look within inside each other. We have to, I work for a science company. We have to rely on the science. We have to rely on our healthcare professionals to guide us through this pandemic,
mm-hmm.
plain and simple. Listen to your governors, as wrong as some are. We have to have, and first and foremost, listen to your faith. My faith, God, listen to what's right. And what you do not know to be right, just do your best to filter
Mm-hmm.
and receive the optimistic, receive platforms like this, receive your positive story, Lamont, that we will get through this. Receive the this too shall pass,
Right.
and just push out the negativity, push down that depression, push out the what ifs.
Right.
Be in the moment, be where you are.
Right. Right. Oftentimes, folks will get anxious about something that hasn't even happened.
Right.
Will create a scenario, a negative scenario before it even happens. What really amazes me is you ever go into a store and you say, you ask somebody at the desk, excuse me, you don't have any hand sanitizer, do you? And it's like, wait a minute, why ask it like that? Why not just say, excuse me, can you show me where the hand sanitizer is? That sort of, but a thing, again, that negative mentality is something that it feeds people who especially in the media. It keeps people on edge. It gives them something that keeps people on edge in that negative mindset. So yeah, I agree, that's really not working.
Yeah,
What
that's at
next
work.
is what do you need?
Ooh, I saw that question. What do I need? I need people to practice safety. I already had a phobia. I can do crowds, I'm active, I'm out there, but I already had a phobia about being too close to me. I need people to practice 6 feet plus. I need people to be in Publix, look down and look at the lines. They've done a great job of labeling out where you need to stand. And you get the folks who are not wearing masks, who are just like, yeah, what have you. Well, there's more. I 70%, I saw a poll, 70% of Americans believe to stay the distance. Let's
Hmm.
continue to practice safe distance. Um, and we just have to do it. You just have to be where you are now. And to recognize that this time, what I need is to recognize this time is what it is, and let's manage this together. Because we will come out on the other side of this. We will get through this. Um, so that's what I need. I need everybody else to, there's definitely more pros than the cons, and I understand those who are upset and the rights,
Right.
protesting is what I was looking for, excuse me, protesting and what have you. I just take a pause back.
Right.
You know, we didn't create this.
Right.
And if you want to get real deep about it, it was already coming. This was already created.
Right.
You know, it's our job to get through it
Right.
safely, correctly, and with our best, and let's leave with the right heart in mind and not ego.
Right.
So
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much.
no
Next
problem.
is, what are you proud of?
I'm proud we will persevere this pandemic time. We will do this. We are America. We are a culture. We are a society. Many of us have come through worse things. This pandemic is just it's just a pause. It's
Mm-hmm.
a snapshot. It's God's way of pausing us. Like, look what you're doing. Look what you can do.
Mm.
Pollution is down. I have the clearest view from my balcony to Universal Studios and Convention Center. I've never seen that view the last 3 years I've been in this building.
Mm.
Pollution, we have power. I hope we realize what our power is.
Right.
Global warming, all of that. So I am proud that I know we're going to get through this.
Right.
We're going to get through this, and it's going to be different. But different is not bad.
Right.
Better.
Right.
We can look at it how your mindset, your viewpoint, optimistic. It could be better. We could be
Right.
so much better than where we have been.
Right. And what's interesting for me is when I look at having actually had the virus and being on the other side of it. And once I got better, I did this whole series of photos of myself. But then 2 weeks ago, I had a really bad setback mentally. I had a really bad setback, and I had to call on some friends to help me come back. And now sitting here, I say, without COVID-19, you and I would not be having this conversation right now. So being able to,
Right.
even in this, some people call it a setback, some people call it a storm, whatever it is, being able to find out how I can make my situation better, how I can help others as best as I can. And those relationships, whatever you build in this time, will even after this continue. So the last question is, what can you let go of?
Ooh, if I haven't already, you have to let go of the past to be able to be where you are right now. Work through it. We're working through this. I continue to say, let go of the negativity in my life. Is that letting go of people who were negative, who I was just, what is it, cohorting with and just trying to help them through.
Mm-hmm.
There's bigger things that this shows. It's a bigger moment than some of the small, trivial things that we may have thought of before. Um, Work with your core. You should know after all this is over and done, you'll know who your friends are,
Yep.
where your
Yep.
family's at,
Yep.
what is most important to you. So just let go of the old mindset. Let go of the BS, and you take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you so
There is
much.
good. There's good everywhere.
Shaylce, okay, so we're at 40 minutes, and I am just so thankful and grateful to you. You don't know what it truly honestly means, and I'm trying not to break down right now, what it
Thank,
truly honestly means for you to take time out of your schedule to have this conversation with me. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you for
I
asking.
hope, oh, yes, you're welcome. I hope that you were able to, as for my audience, I hope you were able to get something out of this today. Please join me tomorrow at 12 p.m., where we're going to have Umar Hamid. He is a mentor to me. He is someone who is phenomenal with the mindset, because he's really helped me with my mindset. And our theme for tomorrow is how to keep a positive mindset when the world goes to hell. That's going to be a topic for you. So please join in. Again, thank you, Shaylce. I really appreciate you. And to everyone, to you, Shaylce, and to everyone, make it a great day.
You as well, my friend. Thank
Thank
you.
you.